Good morning, friends, and I'm Richard, and thank God it's Friday. I'm off to work now, but before that, let me share with you briefly about the gospel today, taken from Matthew 25 verses 1 to 13, about the parable of the 10 young women. And the essence here is more on continuation of yesterday about being stay awake, to be vigilant, to be watchful about the Lord's return, an expected return when it be. But the line that I'd like to highlight here is on verses 3 to 4, saying, "The foolish ones took their lamps, but did not take any extra oil with them, while the wise ones took containers full of oil for their lamps. The bridegroom was late in coming, so they began to nod and fall asleep." Have you ever experienced driving a vehicle and running out of gas? And I recall, I experienced that 3 times. And the first one was so terrible, I didn't expect it. Imagine I've been pushing my motorcycle until I reached the gas station, which is at 260 kilos. 260 kilos. Wow. It was so tiring. And the same thing here in the gospel today, wherein these women needs oil in order for them to light their lamps. And the same with our Christian life. We need this oil. We need this fuel in order for us to keep on going. And this is the Holy Spirit. We often imagine that I can do this work, I can manage things, I can continue to live out this Christian life, even just with me alone or with the rest of my friends or brothers and sisters. But it's not. It's the power of the Holy Spirit that comes from a source apart from the individual. And the Holy Spirit comes from God. It then resides in a person and is a power to produce good fruit of conduct and character. Every time I talk to my leaders, that we often I've been sharing this. It's really the Holy Spirit that keeps us going. We are human. We get tired. Our body gets exhausted, and sometimes mentally we are drained, emotionally being disturbed. But what keeps us going? What keeps us moving to continue to be joyful, to continue to delight in the service for the Lord, to continue to delight in serving others, is that it's the power of the Holy Spirit. Friends, this parable should remind us that we are all susceptible to neglecting our salvation. There will be delays, just like the delay of the return of the bridegroom. We can nod, we can fall asleep. So all of us are susceptible to neglecting our salvation. Each of us can be caught up with the cares of the world and begin to sleep spiritually. We can lose sight of just how vigilant a Christian must be. We can all fall asleep and be caught unaware. So friends, today a reminder for us that we cannot live out this Christian life alone. We need the Holy Spirit. We need this fuel in order for us to keep on going. And to end, on Romans 8:9 saying, "But you do not live as your human nature tells you to. Instead, you live as the Spirit tells you to. In fact, God's Spirit lives in you. If the Spirit of God who raised Jesus from death lives in you, then he who raised Christ from death will also give life to your mortal bodies by the presence of His Spirit in you." I pray that may the Lord's Spirit be with us today until we meet the Lord, in order for us to keep on going, serving the Lord, and we delight in His presence. May have a great day. God bless.